Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nate G here on a Wednesday, June 5th. We are getting ourselves a trend up day. Snipers have been great. We had a little gap and a pullback, and then it's been nothing but a grind up all day long. Tons of buying. We've hit new highs on the SPY. I'm expecting a rollover profit taking into the close, but I'm pretty happy with where I am in terms of my sniper trades for the week and today. I had a couple of sniper 2.0 moves I played today, and then I did get stopped out on a couple of sniper 1.0 turnovers that I was looking for, and they just didn't play out. So not a huge profit day, sniper wise, but up nonetheless, and happy with the way the week is shaping up. So I'm probably not going to try and fight this and try and capture any more moves on this. Just call it a day and come in tomorrow when we maybe have slightly different conditions. But if you saw the recording yesterday, um, we were looking at the SPY in this pattern. And if I get rid of, here, I'll get rid of some of these lines here and here and here. And we look at this, what we looked at yesterday, here's our gap up, right, this morning. What we were looking at yesterday into the close was this ascending triangle that's being formed. We've hit a resistance point there. We hit a resistance point there. And I was talking about maybe kind of coiling in here and popping up, right? And then we would have to retest that level and then go. And what we got out of the gate this morning was a gap up. And what you can see is exactly what I had drawn over here. Is we had our breakout level and we gapped up into that above that level, and we pulled right back and retested that level right there, and then we were out of here, right? So that's what we talk about when we look at these patterns and we get our breakouts. We always get a retest of that level. Now it happened overnight, it happened sort of in that pre-market session, the gap up, at least the push up. So it was sort of an overnight gap up, but then we did get a retest of that level, and that was a great bounce level for this move. And this is a sustained move to new highs. Okay, these lines right in here are the previous high and then the wick of the previous high. So we are pushing to new highs on the Qs. We are pushing to new highs on the SPY. And other than that little dip to retest that level, this has been a trend up day, right? So don't want to be stepping in front of that, trying to catch a sniper 1.0 to the downside. We haven't got much movement in that whatsoever. And if you watch the whole video, we did 3 different setups. And they are all moving today. But what's interesting is they all moved in a different way, right? We set up trade plans. The first one, LLY, we set up a trade plan on here. And remember, we were setting this up into the close yesterday. So we were trying to decide where a good place to enter this was. And we put our value area low here at this yellow line, and our point of control here. And what we woke up to when the market opened was a rip down to this level, and then we quickly reclaimed the pattern, which is quite bullish. We weren't in this, we were waiting to get in this. And you could have picked that up right in this area here. It didn't give you much of a chance though, but then we came back up, retested our trend line here, right? Pulled back into our point of control. See how these move? Comes up, tests that resistance level, pulls back, finds that point of control, and then said, you know what? We're out of here, right? We tested our second, we did a double top here and here. Now we've come back into that breakout level of value area high, and now it looks like we're going to continue our bounce as long as the market continues to cooperate. But that moved absolutely according to plan. It didn't give us much of an opportunity here to get in. If we come into a 1 minute chart and we look at that, our best opportunity to get in was probably on this little dip here back to VWAP for that move up. But you can see these levels we had drawn on here yesterday. It respects them to the upside, as resistance. And then when it pushes through, it retests there, it retests there, it retests there, and then it pushes up through the yellow line, right? And here it's using it as resistance. It breaks through here, and then it starts using it again as support. So drawing these lines in ahead of time really helps inform how that trade may or may not move. So another one that we had on, let's go through them. So that was a rip down and reclaim, right? Then we had NTAP, which we set up a trade on the 78-minute chart, or a potential trade on at the 78-minute chart. You can see into the close yesterday, it was coming up here and bumping up against our value area high level, and it just gapped up and said, you know what, we are out of here, and it's breaking our target number 1 and target number 2. So really, unless you got into that yesterday, which of course you most likely did not, this one went without us. But you can see how these patterns work. If you come to the day before, you can see we had something similar to LLY. We had a breakdown here and reclaim of the pattern, and then we moved up and we broke out. So similar there. And then the next one we set up was ISRG, right? ISRG gave us our breakout and reclaim prior to the close yesterday. So kind of an aggressive trade could have been, you see this breakout here and a retest into the close and a bounce, and then that bounce continued. And so as we were setting up this ISRG chart, it really didn't give us much of a chance to get into it either. The chance had already happened on this bounce, and we were setting it up into the close, so it was already up here. But that just shows you how you should watch these patterns play out once your lines are on the chart. This yellow line is our value area high. You can see it's acted as resistance in a number of spots. And then once it broke, it needs to get retested. What was resistance becomes support. And then that gives the name, permission to bounce and to go. It's got to retest that level. Make sure that's a fair value area, right? And then finally, the last one was AI on the 30-minute chart. And this one did give us an opportunity to potentially get into it. It moved up right at the open and then gave us a nice little pullback. So if we come in here to like a 2-minute chart and we look at it a little bit larger, what it did was it broke up into the morning right here and then came back in and gave us a retest of our trend line, right? And this is why we draw these on the chart. So it moved up, it said, I'm ready to go, but I'm gonna give you a quick little retest before it's time to get out of here. So it's consolidating now, but I would expect as long as the market keeps moving in a bullish manner, that AI is gonna continue to go up, and it gave us our entry earlier this morning at about that 129.68 level. That's it for the open trades there. I would expect some at least a momentary pullback into the next 2 days on the indices, because we are pushing new highs. So I would expect a little bit of a pullback before any kind of continued upward trajectory there. But, all these names are looking great and they're really pushing. I mean, NVIDIA is just a honey badger. It just does not care, and we're rolling into what's next week. I think is the split on NVIDIA, and it just keeps going. That thing is amazing. And Apple is also, although I haven't looked at it today. Yeah, it's also, this is the daily chart. It's pushing this all-time high level. I think it wants 200. That would be an all-time high, and it's just acting as a magnet right now on Apple as well. So the market is looking good at the moment, and I'm just going to continue to come in each day and play what I see, and try not to have too much risk on, because when we get into these extended areas, you know, a pullback is coming. I'll keep, for instance, here on the SPY, I will keep this level here, this trend line level, intact. So if we get a little pullback down into that, look for that to line up with some VP on the left, potentially for another bounce point. So those are the things I'm looking at. I hope everyone else is staying safe out there. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in chat. I may do another little video after the close here on some potential setups for tomorrow, TPS style setups. But if there's not much to look at, then I won't do that. So hope everyone's doing well. I will talk to you soon.